on this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a mix from scratch using only Sony Acid or Sony Music Studio and using Virtual DJ as a reference for checking the BPMs. I will also be showing some of the scratches that I perform using the software, so kindly subscribe and share and like. The first thing you need to do is insert audio tracks. You just right click and you choose insert audio track. You can also use Control Q to insert audio tracks. So for me, I insert around 10 or 8. The second thing you can do is you change the project tempo. Down here, you just double click and then you select the BPM in which you want your project to be in. Since this is an introduction, I'll be using 100 BPM and then we'll be transitioning from one song to another. I'll be using this rhythm instrumental and the BPM for this beat is around 97. Since it's an old rhythm, the BPM is very specific. It's around 97.38 something. So you'll have to be specific. You go to Virtual DJ and copy the BPM. You return to the Sony Acid or Sony Music Studio. You right click on the track. You go to clip properties. You make sure first Acid type it says beat mapped, not one shot, not loop. Beat mapped. Instead of doing the beat mapping manually, we'll just paste the BPM that we picked from Virtual DJ. So you move from general to stretch and then you enter the BPM that you saw on Virtual DJ. In this case, it was 97.380 probably at the end. Now you can click on general to save the BPM and then you go back to the clip. Once you've set the BPM, it will automatically stretch itself to meet the project tempo, which is 100. So will be plus 3. 97 plus 3, you get 100. So we pick where we want the song to start from. For me, I'll pick here, and then you select the part. You use S to slice, which will split the track where you had placed the cursor, and then you drag it back to your starting point if you want the mix to start from there. So it will start like this. So now we add the second song, which is from the same rhythm. We repeat the process. You right click the track. First you'll have to check the BPM from Virtual DJ, and since it's an old rhythm, remember the BPM is very specific, 97.38 something. Others have 97.4, but this one is 97.38 like the other one. So we right click, go to clip properties, you make sure it says beatmap, you choose stretch, you paste your BPM there, and then you select general just to save the BPM. You go back and then you mute all other tracks so that you can hear this line, only this line where the track is. So you choose solo, S, solo. It will mute all tracks and leave this only track. So you select where you want the song to come in at. So this is where your creativity comes in. You'll have to be creative. If you're not creative enough, then this software is not for you. So I'll pick this part and then I'll make sure first it transitions seamlessly without adding any scratches or any transitional effects. You have to listen to the track several times so that your creativity kicks in. So for me, I'll just add the scratches here. So what you need to do to add a scratch, you make sure you zoom in. When zooming in, you will notice that there are bold lines and there are smaller lines in between the bold lines. So the small lines in between the bold lines indicate notes. So we have to zoom until we hit the 16th note, which is basically just counting 16 squares. in between the two bold lines. You make sure each bold line in between there are 16 squares. Once you're there, you can just chop the part that you want to scratch. You split it by selecting S, and then you count 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, and you copy the part that you've split, the small part, and then you paste it after 3 boxes. You can repeat this process until you get the number of scratches you desire. For this one, I'll be doing a basic scratch. We just count 3 boxes, and then another 3 we paste our scratch. That's where we will have our scratch. So this is a basic scratch. So it all depends on your creativity. You can play with the different patterns. So for now, we'll just do the equivalent of a baby scratch. Now let's hear how it all sounds. Also, don't forget to cut out the instrumental, because if you don't, it will just be too loud for nothing. And that's it. Transitioning from one song to another is just that simple. You just have to apply your creativity and then patience, because it takes a lot of time to just make one mix. So that's it for today. Follow, subscribe, and share for more. I'll be adding more scratches and more mixes coming up.